उपदेशकर्तारं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining. So we have been discussing chapter number 27 from Canto 4. Today we'll continue from text 21 and see. So as of now, so what to recap is the previous chapter, text 26, chapter 26, we saw that Puranjana went to forest for hunting, and that implies that the jiva engaged in sinful activities. Yeah. And then when we saw that he was in the forest and he got tired, he came back to his palace, searched for his wife, where wife is considered as a good intelligence. It means he came back, or he regretted his sinful activities and tried to take shelter of good activities, pious activities. And this chapter, it says that how Puranjana, we saw in the very first 10-12 verses, how Puranjana, he was completely enjoying with his with his queen, and he forgot time, and he got 1100 sons, 110 daughters, and then again grandchildren. So each sons, they have 110 sons again. So in a similar way it grew. So he was so much of engaged in material activities, which is compared to pious activities, right, or karmakand activities. And but he didn't realize that time has passed through. Half of his life has gone in the by engaging himself in pious activities. So previous lives condemned sinful activities, and this life is actually condemning the karmakanda activity or even pious activities. Yeah, because the other is higher than that. And then we saw that the time attacked, and time we understood there's two, black and white. So it's so 6 months from Krishna Paksha it's black, and after Krishna Paksha it's white, and then it goes day and night. In a similar way, without any even without our knowledge, or helplessly we could say, that time is passing through. No one has any control, and no one can actually escape out it. Yeah. And we saw that how the five-witted serpent, the five kinds of air in our body, they are fighting to keep the life alive, right? And with that, they are fighting the Chandravega. So till that we have discussed. Any quick comment, questions before we move ahead? Yeah. Okay, so let us see. So we have seen that the daughter of time, which is called as Kalakanya, the daughter of Chandravega, basically Kalakanya, she arrived, and we also saw that she wanted to embrace everyone, but no one is willing to marry her, because no one likes old age. Yeah. So till that we have covered. Let us see text 21. So I think we will just recap text 19. Yeah, here she says that, my dear King Prachina Bharisat. Oh yeah, and one interesting thing, where indirectly, let me see, indirectly we saw that in one of the verse, Narad Muni says that it's you, basically, right? He indirectly said to Prachin Barisad that it's you. He was a king like you. Which verse it was? Text 11. Let's see where it was. Yeah, here it is. Text 11. Narad Muni says, "My dear King Prachini Barisad, like you, King Puranjana." So, like you, this basically he's revealing the story that actually there is no one called as King Puranjana, but all the story is about you only, right? Like you, King Puranjana also become implicated to many desires, and he's performing those ghastly, killing of animals. Yeah. Okay. So let us start today's discussion. Text 21 onwards. Yeah. कदाचित् आत्मनाशा ब्रह्मलोकान् महिं गतं वव्रे बृहद्व्रतं मां तु जानति काममोहिता. Yeah, Kishori Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. When I once came to this earth from Brahmaloka, the highest planetary system, the daughter of time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be an avowed brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. Hare Krishna.
So interestingly, Narad Muni is known as a spaceman, right? He can move anywhere at his will. He got that blessings from the Lord. So once he was in the material world, earthly planet, and this Kalakanya, she wanted to marry this brahmachari. However, we know Narad Muni is a Naistik brahmachari. So let's see the curse and we'll reveal it in the next two verses. Proper. The great says Narada Muni was Naistik brahmachari. So there are two kinds of brahmachari. One is called as Naistika and other, I do not recall the Sanskrit name. Anyone recalls? But the meaning is that Naistika brahmachari, they remain brahmachari throughout the life. They don't go into grahastha life. So basically what happens is, we know for ashram that brahmacharis in the Gurukul, when they finish their education, they are allowed to take grahastha life. Yeah. But few of them, and earlier we can say depending upon the person to person, they take family life, and some didn't take family life. They continue to remaining as a brahmachari, or they can take sannyas ashram instead of grahastha ashram. So these are called as Naistik brahmachari. Like our Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Thakur, he was Naistik brahmachari, and we can say Prabhupada, he went to grahastha, like, and then he took sannyasa. So Naistik brahmachari, that is, he never had sex life. He was consequently an evergreen youth. Old age, Jara, could not attack him. So the Jara, no, the daughter of Chandavega or Khalakanya, she could not attack Narada Muni. So this invalidity of old age can overcome an ordinary man, but Narada Muni was different. Narada Muni was not an ordinary man like we. Right? Taking Narada Muni to be an ordinary man, the daughter of time confronted him with her lusty desire. It requires great strength to resist a woman's attraction, and is difficult for old men, and what to speak of young. So those who live brahmacharis must follow in the footsteps of great sage Narada Muni, who never accepted the proposals of Jara. Those who are too much sexually addicted becomes victims of Jara, and very soon their lifespan is shortened. Without utilizing the human form of life for Krishna consciousness, The victims of Jara die very soon in this world. Yeah. So Narad Muni didn't accept the proposal of Jara. Now this Jara cursed Narad Muni. Let's see. मयि सम्भ्राय विपुला मादा शापं सुदाशहम् स्थातुम् अर्हसि नैकत्र मद्यञ्च विमुखो मुने. Yes, Rupesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. The great sage Narada continued, when I refused to accept her request, she became very angry at me and cursed me severely because I refused her request. She said that I would not be able to stay in one place for a long time.
Yeah, so this is the curse Narad Muni got, where it says, she said that I would not be able to stay in one place for a long time. And that's why this became a boon for Narad Muni. He travels. Even he meets his disciples once, make them perfected, and then move on. Just once meeting of Dhruva Maharaj, once meeting of the Prachetas, we saw last in the last few chapters back. Then once meeting with Prahlad Maharaj, like that, he just moves on, make devotees, and then next place. Yeah, he's not staying anywhere. They say also this curse becomes actually a boon for blessings for Narad Muni as well. The
Sorry,
great
Prabhu.
say, yes, Prabhu.
Sorry, can I ask a quick question before you move on?
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, just as a reminder, Jara, or daughter of time, is Shukracharya's daughter, but then Shukracharya represents time, because sometimes we say father time, or Shani is representative of time, or Shiva. It's the analogy is a little bit confusing, and how Jara is in the form of a woman, or an elderly woman, or or is it just an analogy in this case?
It's an analogy, and the Jara is the old age actually.
So how is Narada Muni? Was it an actual personality that approached him in the form of Jara?
Yes. So because when Narada Muni came to this material world, yeah, for moving around, and old age attacks everyone. So she wanted to attack Narada Muni as well, but Narada Muni has a spiritual body, and as Narada Muni could not get affected by this, so she cursed Narada Muni. That the storyline goes like that.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
So, okay, let's read the purport. The great sage Narada Muni has a spiritual body. Therefore, old age, disease, birth, death do not affect him. Narada is the most kind devotee of the Supreme Lord, and his only business is to travel all over the universe and preach God consciousness. In other words, his business is to make everyone a Vaishnava. Under the circumstances, there is ordinarily no need for him to stay in one place for more than a time he requires to preach. And also it says, even Srila Sukdev Goswami, he also doesn't used to stay in one place, and it says that he used to stay in one place till the time the cow has been milked. So that is the duration of time he can stay in one place. After that, he goes to next place. But contradictory, he stayed in one place for whole 7 days and 7 nights for speaking Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So for Krishna consciousness, he can break the rules for what he's following too. So in a similar way, Narad Muni goes from one place to another place, and as he requires to preach. Since by his own free will he is already traveling all over the universe, the curse of Kalakanya is described as fortunate. Yeah. And like Narada Muni, many other devotees of the Lord are engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord in different places and in different universes. Such personalities are beyond the jurisdiction of material laws. So this curse from Kalakanya has become has act as a fortunate for Narada Muni. Yeah. So let us see the next. Text 23. What happens here? ततो विहत संकल्पा कन्याका यवनेश्वरम् मयोपदिष्टम् आसाद्य बव्रे नाम्ना भयं पतिम्. Yeah, tell Mataji.
Hare Krishna. After she was thus disappointed by me, with my permission, she approached the king of the Yavanas, whose name was Bhaya or fear, and she accepted him as a respect. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So another personality come here as the king of Yavana. So being the most perfect Vaishnava, Sri Narada Muni is always willing to do good to others and even to one who curses him. Although Kalakanya, the daughter of time, was refused by Narada Muni, she was given a shelter. Of course, no one could give her shelter, but a Vaishnava gives shelter somewhere to such an unfortunate girl. So when Jara or old age attacks, everyone dwells and deteriorates. In one stroke, Narada Muni gave shelter to Kalakanya and contracted the ordinary karmas. If one accepts the instructions of Narada Muni, the ocean of fear can be very quickly removed by the grace of the great Vaishnava. So the most fear is that the ocean of fear, the biggest fear is the death, isn't it? So now let's see interesting between what happened between discussion between the Kalakanya to Bhaya. Yeah, or Bhaya is the fear. ऋषिभं यवनानाय त्वां वृणे वीरेप्सितं पतिं संकल्पस्त्वयि भूतानां कृता किल न ऋष्यति. Urla Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Approaching the king of Yavanas, Kalakanya addressed him as a great hero, saying, "My dear sir, you are the best of untouchables. I am in love with you, and I want you as my husband. I know that no one is baffled if he makes friend with you." Thank you.
Okay, let's read the storyline. So the words Yavananam Rishabham refers to the king of Yavanas. The Sanskrit word Yavana and Malaysia apply to those who do not follow the Vedic principles. And according to the Vedic principles, one should rise early in the morning, take bath, chant Hare Krishna, offer Mangala Arati to the deities, study Vedic literature, take prasad, and engage in dressing and decorating the deities. One must also collect money for the temple expenditures. Or if one is a householder, he must go to work in accordance with the prescribed duties of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. In this way, one should live a life of spiritual understanding, and this is the Vedic way of civilization. One who does not follow all these rules and regulations is called Yavana or Malaysia. One should not mistakenly think that these words refer to certain classes of men or in other countries. There is no question of limitation according to the nationalism. Whether one lives in India or outside of India, he is called a Yavana or a Malaysia if he does not follow the Vedic principles. One who does not actually follow the hygienic principles as prescribed in the Vedic rules and regulations will be subjected to many contagious diseases. Because the students in this Krishna consciousness movement are advised to follow Vedic principles, they naturally become hygienic. Yeah. if a person is Krishna conscious, he can work like a young man even if he is 75 or 80 years old. The daughter of Kala cannot overcome a Vaishnava. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami engaged in writing Chaitanya Charitamrita when he was very old. I think it says he was 92 plus something. And yet he presented the most wonderful literature about the activities of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami began their spiritual life at a very old age, and that is after they retired from their occupation and family life. Yet they presented many valuable literature for the advancement in spiritual life. And I think we know so many literature given by Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to us actually. This is confirmed by Srila Srinivas Acharya, who praised the Goswami in this way. Nana Sastra Vicharane Kai Nipunau Sadharma Santapakau Lokanam Hitakaranau Tribhuvane Manyau Saranakaro Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajananandena Mattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shrijiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Juba Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mode of gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. This is from Char Goswami Ashtakam. I mean, if you see, why to deviate or why to try to invent what literature shall I read, what not? It says, Nana Sastra Vicharane Kai Nipunau. These Goswamis, Char Goswamis, they were actually Nipuna, means they are perfectly expert in what? Nana Sastra, in different, Prabhupada writes here, who were very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures. What the aim? With the aim of Sadharma Santapakau, with the aim of establishing the eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. So if the Goswamis has done this in a great detail, why not just follow their footsteps instead of trying to find out things by our own, going here and there, speculating, manipulating, discussing this and that, trying to, we already have very less time. And here Goswamis are presenting us what to do. And he says, Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajananandena Mattalikau. And they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mode of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So if someone is already there, I mean, what the need of investigating more and not following thing? It's like approaching a doctor. When you are diseased, we approach a doctor, and then doctor did they do diagnosis. We might not understand whatever the result comes out, but because the doctor has already got the degree, they could understand our blood report, our urine report, and all other things, and they advise us, okay, these are the medicine you need to take. Practically, no one questions a doctor, and no one inquire more about what these medicines are, but we take it, we accept it in a way that we have faith that, oh, this is a doctor, he has done his degree in this area, in this field, he is expert in this in his field, and he is advising me the best. That's all. We don't go more deeper in trying to find out what the composition of the medicine is, what got paracetamol in it and what these things here and there. We just take it as they prescribed. So in the similar way, if we just take the prescribed duties and prescribed instructions by the Goswamis, who has already expertly studies these different shastra, not just one, it says Nana Shastra, or purposes studying all revealed scriptures, and they have given the path. So why do we need to, search for anything else? Right? There is no time for doing so much of hard work again. Better to follow it. I mean, I'm not saying to follow blindly, but yes, have faith in the acharyas, and then it can be revealed. Yeah, so very beautiful thing to understand. Why do we need to know everything in all detail? But our Goswamis are so kind enough, they have given us the depth of the ocean. We discussed in Nectar Devotion, where we saw that the small fishes, they are on the top layer of the oceans or rivers. That's why they get caught in the net of fishermen. However, the giant whales and others, they are staying very calm in the deep ocean, and they are rarely get caught by any of the fishermen's nets. So these are the devotees, they can go more deeper and more deeper and more deeper, and our Goswamis has given us everything. So and if we just focus on studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think many things are being covered, because Prabhupada has given us many of things from our previous Acharya as well. Yeah. So it's being said, no need to invent the wheel which is already present. So no need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, let's see. Thus, Jara, the effect of old age, does not harass a devotee. This is because a devotee follows the instructions and the determination of Narada Muni. All devotees are in the disciplic succession stemming from Narada Muni, because they worship the deity according to Narada Muni's direction, namely the Narada Pancharatra or Pancharatrika Vidhi. A devotee follows the principles of Pancharatrika Vidhi as well as Bhagavata Vidhi. So Bhagavata Vidhi includes preaching work, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, like that. The hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Pancharatrika Vidhi includes Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, like how to worship. These are the 5 vidhis. Pancha means 5. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. And also I think Pancharatrika Vidhi, I think this was also revealed in 5 nights or 5 days. That's why also another name is Pancharatrika Vidhi. Because a devotee rigidly follows the instructions of Narada Muni, he has no fear of old age, disease, or death. I mean, you could see the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj. Yeah. Apparently, a devotee may grow old, but he is not subjected to the symptoms of defeat experienced by a common man in old age. Consequently, old age does not make a devotee fearful of death. We see from Bhagavad Gita many verses where Krishna says in chapter 8 as well, right? But even in chapter 4, chapter 8, chapter 7, anywhere, you see Krishna says that, when devotees, they come back to my abode when they give up this body. So body anyway has to be given up at one point of time, but for devotee, it's Krishna takes care. For non-devotees, their karma, or you can say Yamaraj takes care. Yeah, I was hearing a lecture just few days back, and it was stating one of the importance part of putting tilaka. And I think we'll see it again when the discussion of Yamaraj with the Yamadutas. in the past of Ajamil, there it says that any devotees having a tilaka in their forehead, Yamaraj never approaches them. Even, I mean, Yamaraj instructed his Yamadutas to never approach them, just always keep away from them. And in that way also, a story comes actually. A story comes that once a person was about to die, or he just died recently, and one crow, no, one crow he did a shit on, and then the shit came on the just on the forehead, and for Yamaduta it looks like a tilak, and they went away. So anything on the forehead for the Yamaduta, they think, oh, this can be a different sampradaya tilak, and they runs away as well. So it's very important to put tilaka in the body. Okay. Okay, let us see text 25. What happens next? Dva imau anusochanti balau ashad avagrahau yalloka shastro panatam narati na tad ichhati. Yes, Jyoti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. One who does not give charity according to the customs or injunctions of the scriptures, and one who does not accept charity in that way are considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Such persons follow the path of the foolish. Surely they must lament at the end.
Yeah. So giving charity and accepting charity, right? Both is required. So it says, it is herein stated that one should strictly follow scriptures if one actually wants an auspicious life. The same is explained in Bhagavad Gita 16:23. यह शास्त्र विधिम उत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिम अपवाप्नोति न सुखम न परम गतिम. Na sukham na param gatim. We don't get sukha in this life and neither in the future, in the next life. He who discards spiritual injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfections nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. Three things: siddhim, sukham, param gatim. Apapnoti means he doesn't get it, all the threes. He doesn't get perfection, happiness, or supreme destination. Siddhim is your perfection, Sukham is happiness, and Paramgati is supreme destination. One who does not strictly follow the terms of the Vedic injunctions never attains success in life or happiness. And what we speak of going back to Godhead. Yeah. So one Shastric injunctions holds that a householder, a Kshatriya, or an administrative head should not refuse to accept a woman if she voluntarily requests to become a wife. Since Kalakanya, the daughter of time, was deputed by Narada Muni to offer herself to Yavanaraj, the king of the Yavanas could not refuse her, and all transactions must be performed in light of the Shastric injunctions. And the Shastric injunctions are confirmed by the great sage Narada Muni. As stated by Narottam Das Thakur, Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya Chityate Kariya Ekka. Yeah. One should follow the principles of saintly persons, scriptures, and the spiritual master. These are three triangles actually. Anything we see in the scriptures or any spiritual discussion, these three things should coincide with each other, like a triangle, three angles of saintly person. So it means whatever saintly person speaks, that has to be in line with the scriptures and a spiritual master. A spiritual master should also speak which is in line with the scriptures and saintly person. So if you want to validate anything, all the three things should coincide. In this way, one is sure to attain success in life. And Kalakanya, daughter of time, presented herself before the king of Yavanas precisely in terms of a sadhu, Shastra and Guru, and thus there was no reason for not accepting her. So basically you can see is that Kalakanya is accepted by Yavana, who is fear, right? Kalakanya is old age, and the Yavana is fear, as in the story. Text 26. Ato bhajashva mam bhadram bhajanti me dayam kuru etavan purushe dharmo yad arthan anukampate. Atve Krishna Prabhu.
Kalakanya continued, O gentle one, I am now present before you to serve you. Please accept me and thus show me mercy. It is a gentleman's greatest duty to be compassionate upon a person who is distressed.
Yeah, so she is humbly approached to Yavana's king, and Yavanaraj, the king of Yavanas, could also refuse to accept Kalakanya, daughter of time, but he considered the request due to the order of Narada Muni. Thus, he accepted Kalakanya in a different way. In other words, the injunctions of Narada Muni or the path of devotional service can be accepted by anyone within the three worlds and are certainly by the king of the Yavanas. Lord Chaitanya himself requested everyone to preach the cult of Bhakti Yoga all over the world, in every village and town. Preachers in the Krishna consciousness movement have actually experienced that even Yavanas or malicious have taken to spiritual life on the strength of Narada Muni's Pancharatrika Vidhi. When mankind follow the disciplined succession, as recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone throughout the world will get benefited. Yeah. Text 27. Yeah. Kalakanyuditavacho nishamya yavaneshwara chikirshurdeva guhyam sha shashmitam tam abhasata. Yeah, Kishori Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. After hearing the statement of Kalakanya, daughter of time, the king of the Yavanas began to smile and devise a means for executing his confidential duty on behalf of Providence. He then addressed Kalakanya as follows. Hare Krishna.
Let us see what it says. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 5.142, it is said, Ekela Ishwara Krishna, Arasava Bhrata, Yare Ache Na Chaye, Set Ache Karnitya. Actual Supreme Controller is the personality of Godhead, Krishna, and everyone is his servant. Yavanaraj, the king of the Yavanas, was also a servant of Krishna. Consequently, he wanted to execute the purpose of Krishna through the agency of Kalakanya. And although the Kalakanya means invalidity or old age, Yavanaraj wanted to serve Krishna by introducing Kalakanya everywhere. Thus, a sane person, by attaining old age, will become fearful of death. The conclusion basically the both the Kalakanya as enters to the person, he becomes old, then naturally the fear of death arises. Yeah, that is the marrying between Kalakanya and king of Yavana, or you can say old age and fear. So foolish people engage in the material activities as if they will live forever and enjoy material advancement, but actually there is no material advancement. Under illusion, people think that material opulence will save them. But although there has been much advancement in material science, the problems of human society, birth, death, old age, and disease, are still unsolved. Nonetheless, foolish scientists are thinking that they have advanced materially. When Kalakanya, the invalidity of old age, attacks them, they become fearful of death if they are sane. Those who are insane simply do not care for death, nor do they know what is going to happen after death. They are under the wrong impression that after death there is no life, and consequently, they act very irresponsibly in this life and enjoy unrestricted sense gratification. For an intelligent person, the appearance of old age is an impetus to spiritual life. People naturally fear impending death, and the king of Yavanas tried to utilize Kalakanya for this purpose. Yeah. Okay, so it's 9 now. We'll pause for the day, and I think there are just few more verses. I believe. Yeah. No, there are some 5 more verses. Actually, I think it's 30 verse. I believe. Yeah. Shall we do the three more verses? 4 more verses actually. No, 3 verses only. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. Let's read out the 3 verses. We can just read it. Maya nirupitastovbyam patir-atma samadhina nabhyanadati lokoyam tvam abhadram asammata. The king of the Yavanas replied, "After much consideration, I have arrived at a husband for you. Actually, as far as everyone is concerned, you are inauspicious and mischievous. Since no one likes you, how can anyone accept you as his wife?" After much consideration, the king of the Yavanas decided to make the best use of a bad bargain. Kalakanya was bad bargain, because no one likes old age, yeah? And no one liked her. But everything can be used in the service of the Lord. Thus the king of the Yavanas tried to utilize her for some purpose. And the purpose has already been explained. That is, Kalakanya as Jara, the invalidity of old age, can be used to arouse a sense of fear in people so that they will prepare for the next life by engaging in Krishna consciousness. So, many times we hear that, okay, no problem, when we become old, you can perform bhakti. Even many times I have heard for myself as well, oh, this is not this time for you to do this bhakti, and there is a lot of things others to do. Even many of my friends as well said the same thing to me. So, oh, there's time for everything. So this time, youth is to enjoyment. But the point is that, actually, all right, actually, you know what? Okay, I will see this next week. I was trying to share one story as I discussed last yesterday itself, but I think I forgot again to discuss now. I'll say it on either tomorrow or on Monday. We can say it. Someone please remind, please. Okay, text 29. This world is a product of food activities, and therefore you may imperceptibly attack people in general. Helped by my soldiers, you can kill them without opposition. Yeah. In the last verse, the king of the Yavanas continued, "Here is my brother Prajwara. So, let's see. And I now accept you as my sister. I shall employ both of you as well as my dangerous soldiers to act imperceptibly within this world." Yeah. So let's see this purport to understand who Prajwara is. So Kalakanya was sent by Narada Muni to Yavanaraj so that she might become his wife. But instead of accepting her as his wife, Yavanaraj accepted her as his sister. Those who do not follow the Vedic principles are unrestricted as far as the sex life is concerned. Consequently, they sometimes do not hesitate to have sex with their sisters. In this age of Kali, there are many instances of such incest. Although Yavanaraj accepted the request of Narada Muni to show respect to him, he was nonetheless thinking of illicit sex. This was due to his being the king of the Yavanas and Malaysians. The word Prajwara is very significant, for it means the fever sent by Lord Vishnu. Prajwara, Jwara means the fever, and Prajwara sent by the Vishnu. Such a fever is always set at 107 degrees and the temperature at which a man dies. Thus the king of Malaysians, Yavanas, requested the daughter of the time, Kalakanya, to become his sister. There are no need to ask her to become his wife. For the Yavanas and the Malaysians, they do not make distinctions as far as sex is concerned. Thus, one may outwardly be a sister, mother, or daughter and still have sex. And Yavana Raja's brother was Prajwara, and Kalakanya was invalidity itself. Combined and strengthened by the soldiers of Yavanaraj, namely non-hygienic conditions, illicit sex, and ultimately a high degree of temperature to bring on death. And they would be able to smash the materialistic way of life. In this connection, it is significant that Narada Muni was immune to attack of Jara or invalidity. Similarly, Jara or the destructive force cannot attack any follower of Narada Muni or another pure Vaishnava. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of 4th canto, 27th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Attack by Chandavega on the city of King Puranjana, the character of Kalyavana. So next week, we'll just do a quick recap of these two chapters. In fact, 3 chapters now, 25, 26, 27, where we started the story of Puranjana, and then we will continue chapter 28. And thank you very much for extending some 8-10 minutes today. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.